Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Full Circle Podcast. I am Lexie Brown here with my girl, Mariah Rose, fresh off of her European trip to France.
Kim.
What part of France? Where was you at now? Like, I
Girl,
can't keep up with you.
All over the place.
How was it? Briefly. It looked amazing. I was enjoying all of the content.
It was beautiful. It was hot outside, but it was gorgeous, and it was a special experience. I felt really blessed to be there.
Oh, I love that. You were on a panel, right?
Yes, girl. I was speaking with
Yeah, guys, Mariah goes to do work things, right? She does fun things, but she also is booked and busy globally, okay?
Amen.
Let's keep that in mind, how amazing that is. I'm so jealous, but I'm so happy that you got to have that experience.
Girl,
because your wins are my wins.
Thank you, Queen.
You're welcome. I'm okay. I'm not going to lie to y'all and say that I'm doing great. Once this episode drops, you guys will see that I did not play in tonight's game against the Fever. I underwent a procedure yesterday, which was Monday. Some Crohn's-related things. I will go a little bit more into detail on my TikTok if y'all care, but if anybody that has been keeping up knows that I've been dealing with this for the last few years, and it hasn't been easy. And now I'm in a new city, new team, new doctors, new everything. So just figuring that out, something that I just wanted to get ahead of, because the last time I didn't get ahead of something, it spiraled into something really, really horrible. So we just wanted to prevent that. And yeah, I'm feeling okay. Sick that I'm not able to play in our game tonight, but I will be there supporting and cheering them on. So yeah. But the show must go on, right? Like, we have,
of course, Lexie, we're praying for you, and we love
you. Thank you. Thank you. This is something that keeps me locked in for sure. Like, this is literally a women's basketball show, and I'm a women's basketball player. So this is like the most locked in thing I could probably do despite not playing. So having these conversations.
100%. Your life is women's basketball.
Yeah, like high key, not even low key, high key. So being able to have this show and hop on here and talk about the W and everything that's going on is something that I really love to do. And it's keeping me locked in and motivated and ultimately like busy and happy, because this is something I'm really passionate about and I love doing. So I'm glad that we have this together, and I'm glad I have you here supporting me and doing this and building this with me. So, okay, sorry to get all sappy.
Of course. And I'm excited for today.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so let's get into it. We are 1/3 of the season checked. Last episode we were talking about Q1. What are some things that you've been noticing, Mariah, during this first, 13, 14 games?
Well, I feel like everyone's been adjusting to the beginning of the season, but we're at a point where we're starting to really see who teams are, including your team, the Seattle Storm, heating up. Y'all went 3-0 behind NECA, going 3 straight games, scoring 25 plus and shooting 71%. And fun fact, the Seattle Storm are 7-0 when NECA scores above 20 points. So her impact is super important. 6 wins in your last 7 games, and definitely a legit playoff threat if NECA can stay healthy and consistent. Lexie, what have you been peeping?
It's funny that you mentioned that about her 20-point plus scoring, because we literally have said that in the locker room. We're like, NECA, when you score 20 points, we're not losing. Like, that's something that we all understand as a team. And then a shout out to her for winning Western Conference Player of the Week, something that she absolutely deserves with those stats and numbers that you just said. I'm just going to use this time to give an all-star breakdown why my team should have multiple all-stars. And that's all we're going to talk about, because I know we've won 3 games in a row. It's amazing. 6 out of our last 7, which is also amazing. But I really just want to take this moment to talk about 3 of my teammates that I feel like should be all-stars this season, starting with NECA. She is 13th in the league in scoring, 7th in rebounding. Skylar is 11th in the league in scoring, 4th in assists. And my dark horse for all-star, even though she shouldn't be a dark horse, but when you look at her numbers, they might not be like eye-popping like Skylar and NECA's, is Gabby. She's 26 in scoring, but she does so many things for our team that you don't see on the stat sheet. Our defense is night and day when she's on the court versus off the court. And she's had back-to-back double-doubles. So her first double-double was points and rebounds, and her most recent double-double was points and assists. So Gabby is on the hunt for a triple-double. I feel like she's going to get one this season. We'll see if she can do it. She's absolutely capable of it. And she's actually a forward, I think, in all-star voting. Not sure if that helps her or hurts her when it comes to the voting, which we will get into later since there's been a lot of conversation about how all-star voting works. But for the Storm talk today, because I know this is a very pro-Seattle Storm show and a pro-Atlanta Dream Storm because that's Mariah's team, I just wanted to take a moment to give a little all-star spiel, and I need our Seattle Storm fans, our NECA fans, our Skylar fans, our Gabby fans to go vote for them. Like, y'all are in control of this right now. For the starters, are the fans. So I need y'all to get on your little tap machines, your iPads, your computers, your phones, and go vote. Like, especially on the days that are double days, triple days, whatever days. But we are definitely trending in the right direction. And it's been a really fun journey to be a part of, just seeing the ebbs and flows of a season like so early for us. And us, getting a little bit better every day, a little bit better every game. So we're definitely heading in the right direction. I still think we have more to give, but it's still very early. So shout out to the Storm. It's been a lot already, and we're only a third of the way through the season. So I'm just excited to see what's up next for us.
Well, I'm looking forward to that Fever game. I'm looking forward to what y'all have coming up. We're wondering if you guys can keep it rolling against Indiana, Connecticut, and Golden State this week. And speaking of Golden State, the Golden State Valkyries have become the expansion team blueprint. They are now the most valuable team and the newest WNBA team. The Golden State Valkyries are valued at $500 million by Sportico. They're tied to the Golden State Warriors, which are the NBA's most valuable team, and they share an arena with them. And they became the first WNBA team to hit 10,000 season tickets sold in their first ever season. And Sportico estimates that the Golden State Valkyries will bring in more than $70 million in revenue in 2025, which will more than double what any WNBA team made in 2024. To talk about what's happening with them on the court, they're sitting at 7-6, already outperforming most past expansion teams. They're 5-2 at home at the Chase Center. And this week they have a pretty big stretch against the Liberty, the Sky, and the Storm. So, Lexie, what are you thinking about the Valkyries?
Man, when I watched them play, and even when we played them in Golden State, which this week we're gonna get our get back when we go back there, they just look like they have a lot of fun. Like, I look at them sometimes and I'm like, they just are playing so loose. They play free. And they just look like they're having a lot of fun. And that goes a long way in the professional sports realm. I think it's a very underrated thing when you're just able to play free like that.
Well, there's not one singular star.
Exactly. But I will say, if they were to have to pinpoint a singular star, it would be Kayla Thornton. And I do think that she will be an all-star this year. I feel like you're a playoff team. You're in playoff contention. She's averaging 15 points and 7 rebounds. Like, those are all-star numbers if you ask anybody. And you're on a playoff team. You're on an expansion team, which had pretty much zero expectations. They had very low expectations, and they're surpassing them. And you have to have a really good leader to do that. And I think Kayla Thornton has taken that role, and she has definitely thrived in it. I think people forget that she was a dog in Dallas. Like, she was a problem in Dallas. She went and got her a championship with the Liberty, but this is the Kayla Thornton that us as players are already very familiar with. So I'm just really happy that she's getting her opportunity. They're leading the league in attendance, and it's probably not even close. And I read somewhere that they have over $50 million projected revenue, not including media, merch, and other things, which I think is like
$70 million total.
Insane. Like, yeah, like, and that's crazy.
What's it like as a player seeing the numbers as far as revenue and everything is concerned, because that's what people always pinpoint when they're criticizing the WNBA or WNBA players. What's it like as a player seeing not only the attendance grow or the fans grow online, but the numbers, like the numbers behind it are showing that the league is growing and bringing in money?
Yeah, I mean, I think the argument I always have with people is that it's not about the revenue all the time. Sometimes it's about the investment that you put into these organizations and teams, and then the revenue will come. So seeing the Valkyries have so much energy and money and support put in and poured into them from day one, like that makes such a big difference. A lot of these other expansion teams were teams that were discarded from their previous city. Oh, like we didn't want this team here, so we're just gonna put them in this city. This city was like, they worked their asses off to bring a team to Golden State. So even having that energy is completely different from any other expansion team that I've seen. And it makes a difference. And it's really exciting. And like you said, it's the blueprint. And we have 2 more teams coming. So I'm hoping that they come with the same energy, because now the standard is up here. The standard is high. So I want to shout out the Golden State organization. They've done such a great job in year 1. I was expecting big things, but they have definitely surpassed all of my expectations as far as an organization. Like, I knew that we didn't say like they were contenders or anything like that, but I knew that they were going to be better than what everybody thought. But, the way that the organization has been run, how they're promoting their players on socials, how they talk about each other, how they talk about the team and everything like that. This is something that we have never seen before. And it's showing in their play. So it's really exciting to see. It's like a really exciting time for women's sports, despite, some of the noise that we hear about it. Like, these are the moments and these are the things that should be celebrated. Absolutely.
I read that the owners paid a $50 million expansion fee, and for the team to be valued at $500 million in their first season, I mean, they 10x their investment.
Pocket change.
It works. If you're investing in your teams, it works.
Yeah. In 1 year, not even a year. Like, yes, it works. It absolutely works. So I'm excited to go back there because it was fun playing in there.
Well, let's talk about another team that's on a hot streak. Why does it feel, because we planned the episode, but it feels like everything is so positive.
Does it feel like everybody's on a... Good, because that's what this show is about.
Right?
We're talking about all the positive things right now, okay? This is a good vibes only episode, guys,
Amen.
Okay? If you haven't noticed.
Amen. Let's talk about the Mercury rising. They're on a 5-game win streak, which is their longest since 2021. They scored 107 points versus the Chicago Sky, which is their and a franchise record of 17 threes. They are fully healthy, clicking offensively, but they have some big tests against the Liberty and the Aces coming up.
We said this in our preseason, like they have the 3-headed snake of AT, Satu, and Ka. How are the rest of the pieces going to fit? This is the most beautifully constructed roster I think I've seen in the W in a long time, especially considering that they have 6 rookies on their team, which is incredible. The next team with the highest are Dallas and Connecticut, tied with 4. But the fact that they are playing this way with 6 rookies, which is half of their roster guys, maybe even over half the roster if they are carrying 11 players. Like, the things that they're doing, the way that they're playing, moving the ball, shooting the ball, Satu, AT, and Ka are playing very well together. I wasn't sure how they were going to be able to play together on the court because all 3 of them are like historically pretty ball dominant, and that's not a bad thing. So it was just figuring out who was going to get their shots where, and they're figuring it out like very seamlessly. Even adding Ka to the mix as of late, she is just like slid right into the rotation, and they have not missed a beat. They've actually gotten better. Satu and AT are leading the way. Satu averaging 19 points, 8 rebounds. AT averaging 14 points, 7 rebounds, and 9 assists, which is incredible. The scariest thing about the Mercury is that you have 3 very reliable stars for the most part. And if it's not all 3, it's definitely going to be 2 of them. Their supporting cast which is included in their starting lineup and coming off the bench, they probably have the highest scoring bench in the league. I tried to find that number today and I couldn't find it, but I'm going to assume that they have one of the highest, if not the highest bench scoring. In their last 5 games, they've had, you know, their normal stars, AT, Satu, and Ka, but every other game, a different person has stepped up to be that fourth option. When they played Dallas, Laxa had 14 points. When they played Vegas, Sammy Whitcomb, 18. When they played Connecticut, Held and Laxa combined for 25. When they played New York, Akoi Makani had 21. Like, at any given night, somebody on their supporting cast is going to rise to the occasion and be a problem. And that's what makes the Mercury so dangerous. We felt it game 1 when they whooped our ass in Phoenix. And we were like, oh, they're legit right now. And now they're just continuing to get better and better and better. And again, the 6 rookies on the team and them playing at this level is super impressive. And it's been really cool to see them like gel the way that they're gelling with injuries, not injuries, people in the lineup, out the lineup. They're doing a really good job over there in Phoenix. Not gonna lie.
It's really nice to see people clicking and to see so much parity. That's my favorite way to watch, is like when you don't really know who. Obviously, there are the heavier hitters and like teams that are ahead in a way, but it feels like there's this parity, like when it comes to playoff time. On any given day, it could be somebody's good day, and you never know.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think there are teams that are separating themselves from the rest of the pack for sure. There's only 6 teams over 500 right now. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but that's not a lot of teams that have won more than half of their games. Minnesota is the only team that's undefeated at home. But I'm really excited for this next month of games because now that Commissioner's Cup is over, we're going to see more East-West matchups that we haven't seen yet. Like, we're about to go on an East Coast road trip very soon. So I'm excited to see new teams play each other because I feel like a lot of teams have played each other multiple times. So I'm really interested to see some new matchups, some new games. You know, things have been getting a little spicy out there. So I'm really excited to see,
It has.
you know, that carry over to other games. And, you know, it's because, you know, you see the same people all the time. You're like, damn, I'm sick of y'all. Can we play someone else? Like, that's what's going on. So it's going to be nice to see some new groups of games because I really do feel like a lot of teams have played each other 1,000 times. And that's what happens. Like, we see it in the playoffs. You play a team 5 straight times, some shit might pop off. Right? So, like, that's what we're seeing right now in our season. We're like, damn, like, we haven't, like, can we play some new people, please? So I'm excited to play the Fever. I'm excited to go to the East Coast. We come to Atlanta soon, Mariah girl.
Yay!
We get to go play in New York. We get to see Connecticut this week. So I'm excited to see some new faces for sure. Get some good bump.
I need to go get my tickets. Speaking of new faces, let's talk about these rookies. So, Lexie, I'm curious who your pick for Rookie of the Year is, what you're noticing from the rookies this year. We gave the rookies a lot of love prior to the season starting in our preseason episode because we were talking about how a lot of them are in situations where it's low stakes, so they get to shine. And there's no better picture of that than Paige Bueckers right now. She's leading the rookies in scoring and assists. She scored 20-plus points in her last 3 games. She's top 12 in the league in scoring.
Period, Paige.
Which is crazy. So she's really found her aggression and her stride. You got Sonia Citron from the Mystics doing historic stat lines that have only been matched by WNBA legends. And then we've talked about Kiki Iriafen already from the Mystics. Their first rookie of the month, I believe, that we already mentioned that. But she's had some very rare rookie stat combos and a major impact already as a starter, which is crazy. So, Lexie, what are you noticing as far as the rookies are concerned?
I mean, like you said, they're all in very low stakes environments. And that's kind of like the best place to be as a rookie, somewhere where you can learn, somewhere where you can grow, and just become that leader. You see it with Paige. We talked about a few episodes ago how they needed her to be a more aggressive scorer, and that's exactly what she's doing. She's definitely becoming that. I think she just needed to get comfortable. Like it's her first professional season. Like it was going to take her some time, but for her to bounce back the way that she has after being out with an injury and then an illness, like is super impressive for someone that young, being top 12 in the league in scoring. Not a surprise. I've always thought she was a super well-balanced scorer, 3-level scorer, and a very high IQ level scorer. So I still think it's Paige Rookie of the Year award to lose at this moment in time. Dallas probably will need to win a little bit more for her to like completely run away with it. But I think they'll be able to do that. I don't foresee them continuing on this like downward spiral they're on, especially with the trajectory of Paige and Enrique. They're kind of finding their cadence together. So I'm hoping for the best for the Dallas Wings because I do want Paige to have a rookie season that she can look back on and be proud of. I think whether they win a lot of games or not, like she should still feel that way. But having some wins will definitely help her in that regard. I know we said Kiki was, her closest comp, but Sonya is creeping up. Like she is now past Kiki in scoring. She's averaging 15 points, 5 rebounds, shooting 49% from the field and 37% from the three. So Sonya's having a very incredible rookie campaign as well. So, I mean, I think between her and Kiki on that Mystics team, Kiki averaging 13 and 9, shooting 50% from the field. It's like 1A, 1B when it comes to, rookies. But at the end of the day, they're chasing Paige. So
well, I want to ask you.
I think either one of them, yeah.
Do you feel like, okay, because Caitlin Clark had an anomaly of a rookie season outside of all of the stuff that everybody talks about with her popularity and whatnot and coming off of her college career. But as a WNBA player, her rookie experience was Rookie of the Year, playoffs, like very, very high stakes. She didn't come into a super low stakes sort of situation. Well, I'm not sure if she made it high stakes or if she just came. I mean, they had a number 1 pick right before her.
No, but you're absolutely right. Like when you frame it that way, like it was literally like playoffs or bust for her.
Right.
Like for whatever reason, but because that team, like you said, they had been stacking number 1 picks, it was just like, it's a matter of time. Y'all utilize all this talent that you guys have been stockpiling for years. So you're absolutely right. I never thought about that. Like we're talking about how low of stakes of environment this rookie class has. And last year, it was like, if y'all don't make it to the playoffs, like this was a waste of a season. And they did. They did make it.
Exactly. She sets the bar high in so many areas, but I think the expectation of a rookie, that bar has been set very high by Caitlin, especially since she brought a lot of new fans in that now are like, well, Caitlin Clark won Rookie of the Year and went to the playoffs and this and that and this and that and led the league in assists and like did all of these crazy things that are pretty abnormal for a rookie. Like Paige's experience, I think that there's a lot of fans coming in. Like my sister's one of them who like watches every Paige game and she's like sick of the Wings losing. And I'm like, this is what a rookie's experience should be like. The number 1 pick team this is what they don't get the number 1 pick by winning the championship.
Exactly. And not saying that like they're like the worst team ever, but like that's typically how it goes. Like you are the number 1 pick and the bad teams get the better rookies. Like that's the reality of the situation. But when Caitlin came in last year, they were like, if y'all don't make the playoffs, everybody got to go. Like, it was crazy, but they rose to the occasion and made a crazy playoff push for in the second half of the season. Because the first half of the season did not start very good. Like, they struggled for a little bit. They came out of All-Star break swinging. They really turned a corner after All-Star break. And that's what I feel like could happen with the Dallas Wings as well. Like, you need time to grow, especially with a rookie leading the way. They're new to this league. They're new to the pace. They're new to the physicality. The traveling is different. The cadence of games. They're playing way more games in a shorter amount of time. Like, there's a lot of things that are different from the college game to the pro game. So, I mean, these last these last 2 rookie classes have been so impressive to me. And I hope everybody is impressed by all of them, like top to bottom. Like we can get into more of the rookies. We talk about Paige, Sonia, and Kiki a lot, but I mentioned Akoa Makani, who plays for Phoenix. Like she's having a great rookie season. We've mentioned Lexie Held, who's also on Phoenix. One rookie that we got to give a little love to is Pow Pow. Like, Pow coming off the bench, scoring 7 points, shooting 57% from 3. She's leading the league right now in 3-point percentage. So Pow and Aaliyah Nye, who plays for Vegas, I think those 2 were the steals of the draft because they're both coming in and making immediate impacts on their teams. You know, Vegas is going through what they're going through, but that doesn't take away from how Aaliyah Nye is playing. Like, it's very impressive. We just played them, and her shot is quick. She can defend. She can rebound. Like, she's a really great WNBA player, so is Pow Pow. So seeing these rookies come in and being, instantly utilized is something that I love to see because, when I was a rookie, I didn't get utilized at all. So being able to see these rookies come in and be able to play to their strengths and have their teammates have confidence in them, have their coaches have confidence in them, like that's something that's super amazing.
I'm glad you mentioned the confidence. Because that's what I was going to bring up, that it takes a lot of confidence to come into a new space as a rookie and take over like that, or to make your mark, or to play your game that you were playing in college or that we might know you from. On top of that, with players like Paige or Kiki or all of them, like they're in a new social media type of era. The Paige came off of a whole press tour going into the season. She didn't get to rest at all before becoming a WNBA player.
Right.
They're getting comments and all of this attention. They've got a lot going on for such young people. And I'm glad that you guys, as vets and as teammates, it seems to be that from hearing your stories or other WNBA players that I've spoken to in interviews and whatnot, the stories of like, y'all kind of got hazed or like ignored a little bit. I feel like y'all are really bringing these rookies in and like, come on, Auntie's baby.
Come on. I mean, I want to say our rookie Dom, like she's not really getting the minutes that she probably was expecting or that anybody was expecting, but I'm watching her every day improve and get better. And I love being on the court with her. Like I've never played with somebody that is like her before. And she's literally 19 years old. So her coming over here and going through this process. I'm so excited to see her
start getting minutes.
It's like,
I'm so excited
me too.
about that.
And like, I'm so impressed with her. Like I think of like myself at 19 and I'm like, I would never be able to do this. Like, especially being away from home.
As I say, especially coming from another country.
Yeah, and then I think Gabby has done such a good job of just making sure that she feels comfortable and feels like she has someone in her corner at all times. But I mean, I think our whole team has done a really good job of making her feel comfortable. And I know it's probably not easy for her, making this transition and not probably getting on the floor as much as she wants. But like I said, I see her improving every day. And her time is going to come. Like, as she's a baby. Like, she has more than enough time. But I think everybody is really excited to see her get major minutes. And if that comes this season, cool. If it doesn't, that's fine too. That's just like the reality of how deep our team is in Seattle. But I mean, even though she's not in the running for Rookie of the Year at the moment, I do want to shout out Dom because I see her every day putting the work in, and I see her every day learning and getting better and learning how to be a pro in the WNBA. So I just want to give her a little shout out too.
And she's in a high stakes situation. So she's going to learn so much.
Yeah,
like she's in
absolutely.
We are going to the playoffs type of situation. Like we are not playing, you know? So she doesn't get to just figure it out.
Also, she's in the situation of when are you going to dunk in a game? And how many players have that expectation on them?
And I wasn't going to mention it when I said I was so excited.
When are you going to dunk? When are you going to dunk? Like, how many girls get asked that? Like, nobody gets asked that. Like, when you going to dunk?
Her and BG need to have, like, a red table talk about that.
They need to have a pregame dunk contest. No, Dom does a one-handed dunk. She does it in our warm-up line. She does it before we run to the benches before the game. Like, she does it very easily. So when that happens in a game, I'm going to lose my shit.
Oh, insane.
Like, don't let me be actually in the game when that happens. Like, it's over with. Like, call a timeout, please, because I'm going to be, like, running laps around the court, like, when that in-game dunk happens. Like, we are so excited for, like, last game, we thought she was going to do it. But it's like, we're like, she just got in the game. Like, we're like, you've been sitting, you get in the game, dunk!
Dunk, dunk,
like,
dunk.
She's like, guys, I can't just go and dunk. So shout out to Dom. She's doing great, everybody. I know a lot of people want to see her on the court more, but her time is coming, okay? Just know that she's working her ass off. And when she gets her opportunity, she's going to be amazing.
We can't wait. So let's talk about All-Star, because I'm on the edge of my seat since we teased it a little bit at the beginning. So I'm going to give a little bit of an overview, and then we're going to talk about our picks, who we want to vote for, those kind of things. But for the fans that don't know, first I'll explain how voting works. So if you haven't voted yet, go do that. But the voting, okay, so you make your All-Star votes. You'll see WNBA.com, make your account, go vote. But the voting is 50% the fan vote, 25% players, 25% media. Those votes compiled count to vote towards the players that make the team. Okay? The top four.
Just the starters.
Yes. Yes. The top four.
Just the starters, guys. Okay.
Yes, that's just for the starters. The top 4 guards and the top 6 front court players with the best weighted average become starters. Meanwhile, the coaches then select the 12 reserves, and they cannot vote for their own players. So the fan, media, players vote counts for the starters, the top 4 guards, and the top 6 front court players. And then the rest are selected by WNBA coaches. And it's fair because they can't vote for their own players.
Yes. Okay, guys, do you understand? There's been a lot of back and forth about the selection process. And I'm like, yes, are y'all new here? Yes, y'all are new here. The NBA does their voting the exact same way.
Yes.
The fans,
it's normal.
All-Star Weekend is for the fans. So, of course, their vote does matter, because if it wasn't for the fans, All-Star Weekend wouldn't exist, because what is the point if there's no fans?
Right. And nobody wants to see, like, who the fans are. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're tuning in to watch what the fans want to see.
Well, that's why there's like a weighted average for a reason. Like, the fans need to feel like they are part of the selection process, because All-Star Weekend is for fans. So if y'all are not happy with the fan voting, then go vote some more for your faves.
Right. There are some double voting days.
Yeah.
So make your voice heard.
There's like a very simple and easy way to fix that if you're not happy with the votes.
If y'all are voting for Love Island and you haven't voted for your WNBA All-Stars, I don't want to see your tweets complaining when the lineups come out.
I don't want to see your complaints. I don't want to see your complaints about anything. Please.
But a little bit of an overview of how the voting is going / what the weekend entails. It'll be hosted this year in Indianapolis by the Indiana Fever, July 18th and 19th. We've got the skills challenge and the 3-point contest on Friday. And then the All-Star game will happen on Saturday, which is what you guys are voting for the rosters for. The fan voting opened earlier this month and it closes this week. I believe when this episode comes out, you'll have 3 more days. And the first returns just dropped. So far, Caitlin Clark leads the way with all players with 515,933 votes, followed by Napheesa Collier with 484,958 votes. That is literally so many. But that means that these two will serve as captains for the All-Star Draft July 8th ahead of the game in Indianapolis. And I just want to put in perspective how much the league has grown, because this made me want to cry earlier reading it. In 2023, the entire first round of votes had 422,000 votes, okay? This year, Caitlin Clark and Napheesa Collier alone have more than that. That's insane.
Let's clap it up, everybody. Let's clap it up. Let's clap it
Kayla
up.
McBride is ranked 40th this year with 44,000 votes, which means she would have led voting in 2023. Even compared to Clark's own rookie year, her first round vote total has more than doubled from 216,000 in 2024 to 515,000 in 2025. Insane.
That's incredible. That is really incredible. And I'm glad you put it in perspective that way, because, again, things like this need to be celebrated. I don't care who your favorite players are, who you like, who you don't like. When you see numbers like this, you can't not be happy for the league as a whole, because that means that there's massive growth going on. And that's what we've been wanting and begging for and asking for and playing our asses off for, is this growth that we're seeing right now. And to have the numbers to back it up with these fan voting things is amazing. Y'all could be mad as y'all want, but the Indiana Fever fans, they show up and show out.
Oh, they went nuts.
I know they're probably extra excited because they're hosting. Like, it's going to be very pro Indiana Fever atmosphere in there, which I guess like it should be like that. You're hosting the city.
The same thing happened with the Golden State Warriors in San Francisco last year. Buddy Hield was in the 3-point contest. That wouldn't have happened anywhere else.
Yeah. No, this is true. 4 Fever players are on the top 10. Caitlin Clark at 1, Aaliyah Boston 3rd, Kelsey Mitchell 7th, and Lexie Hull at 9. So, if y'all want anybody on your favorite team to make this list, doesn't mean that they're going to be an all-star. But as a player, it probably feels amazing to see your name on that list for the fan voting. Like, we can be happy for them for that, even though you can think that they should be an all-star or not an all-star. But I'm like, how amazing was it probably for Lexie Hull to wake up and be like, oh, I'm top 10 in fan voting for all-star. Because she works hard. She's in the WNBA for a reason. Like, if her fans want to put her in the All-Star game, then they have every right to do that. And she has every right to be happy for herself. And everyone else should be happy for her as well. Like, I don't know why that's so hard for people to do.
Caitlin Clark is bringing a lot of fans to the league, and she's doing incredible, and she deserves it because she's an amazing player. We just talked about her rookie year and how high stakes it was and how she lived up to all of those expectations. But I think it's important to put in perspective that the growth of the league outside of her, it has just like spread to everyone on her team, like her teammates, like you said. Lexie Hull getting to see her name in top 10 all-star voting. Fee getting double the votes that there were in 2023 total. Like, everybody is really rising right now, and it's just so special to see. And shout out to Fee being second because, like...
Yeah, shout out to Fee.
She's that girl.
She is. And I just like everybody across the league, like you said, is elevating. Whether that's on the court, off the court, like their hobbies outside of basketball, what they're doing in the community. Like, there's so many positive things that everybody is doing that is outside of the realms of a 40-minute game. And I think that needs to be appreciated more, that needs to be celebrated more, and that needs to be embraced more, because there is so many layers to being a professional athlete outside of showing up for games and playing at a high level 3 to 4 times a week. Like, that is obviously a very important thing. But for athletes, sometimes things that go on in the game are absolutely outside of your control. But how do you show up every day as your best self? How do you show up to be a good teammate? How do you show up to be a good role model? How do you show up to be a good member of the community? Like, those are things that we can control. So I think everything that's going on in the league right now, even though some of it is a little messy, some of it can be a little spicy, overall, the league is growing. And that's like exactly what we need, especially heading into these CBA negotiations, which actually we could talk about that briefly because there's been a lot of messaging out as of late about the CBA negotiations. And we had our whole episode with Terry, who's the head of our Players Association. So if you guys want to go take a deep dive into like what the CBA is, what our renegotiation period is, all that kind of stuff, y'all can go tune into that episode that we did months ago called Power to the Players. It was an amazing episode. I'm so glad that we did it. But some of the messaging that you guys have been seeing, I will like summarize it simply to this, is that our salaries do not rise with the revenue of the league. And like, that's as simple as I can put it. Our Players Association Instagram has it all broken down in more detail. Like I said, we already went into this in our episode with Terry. But at the end of the day, what we want as players is our salaries to rise with the value of the league. So one of our biggest issues right now is just having that really hard salary cap that does not move whether the league makes $100 million more or $50 million more. It doesn't matter. Our salary cap is our salary cap. And that's something that we are really fighting hard on, is something we want a bigger share of the pie, and we want to be able to grow with the league. And I think that's something that is really important for people to understand. And I think it's also important to just keep it in the realms of like the WNBA. I know that there's always like, well, the men do it this way, the men do it that way. But then I think when you bring that into the conversation, and the conversation goes somewhere else that has nothing to do with what we're asking for or what we want. We just want to be able to, we want our salaries to grow the same way the league is growing. So again, y'all want to hear more about the CBA, go tune into our episode or head to the Players Association Instagram website. There's so much messaging out right now. A lot of players have been sharing. There's been interviews about it. So if you guys really genuinely care, there's so much information out. If you want to support us, keep showing up to games, buy league pass, buy jerseys, buy merch, go eat at the games, bring your friends, drink, have a blast, okay? Do everything that you want. Just bring your ass to the game, okay?
One thing I want to highlight that's
my CBA talk.
That Terry, I learned from our episode with Terry, is that comparing the WCBA to other leagues is harmful, because part of the issue and part of the things that you guys are still trying to address about the CBA is the fact that at the beginning of the league, it was just a copy and paste of the men's league's CBA. And it is a completely different league because it's a completely different game. And because you guys are women, there are things in the CBA that need to be added and addressed that they would never think of on that side. So comparing it to their CBA, or comparing what's going on in the W to comparing what's going on in the NBA, is so harmful to any negotiations that are happening, any conversations that are happening, because the whole point of these negotiations, what Lexie and what Terry, what they're meeting about and talking about, are separating the CBA from the men's CBA. So it's not supposed to be the same. It's not similar. They're not asking for it to be the same. They're just asking for what they deserve. You heard me at the top of the episode speaking about the value of these teams increasing and the revenue increasing. The players are the product, and so they deserve a piece of the pie.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's all. It's simple and it's business.
And if the pie turns from a medium pie to a large pie, then I want a large slice.
If it was a cupcake before and now it's a sheet cake, I want more of the sheet cake, okay?
Exactly.
We've been sharing a cupcake. We've been sharing cupcakes for too long.
Wait, a cupcake
now we
is
got a big
me.
old sheet cake. I'm fucking weak.
Well, to end this very positive episode, Lexie, let's give our flowers. Lexie, who do you want to give your flowers to today?
I want to give my flowers to Courtney Williams and Natisha Heidemann, aka the Stud Buds, because what they are doing with their live streams is amazing and it's hilarious. And I've never seen athletes do that before. They are streaming multiple times a week and they're just sitting around chopping it up. And sometimes they have other players hop on. And it's just like good vibes. Like I've been on a team with Courtney Williams. Like she's such a dope human being and she's funny as shit. So for her to be able to just be on her little stream and be herself and make jokes and just keep everything really light, like I really love that for them. So shout out to the Stud Buds. I want to give them their flowers because I love seeing other players doing stuff like podcasting and streaming. Like I think it's so amazing. And again, basketball is our job, guys. Like it's just work. We clock in, clock out, put the work in, but there's 24 hours in a day. And I love seeing people and players utilize their 24 hours because 24 hours is a long time, guys. So
Amen.
Shout out to the Stud Buds. What they're doing is great. It's amazing. It's hilarious. So I want to give my flowers to them.
I want to give my flowers to you, Lexie, because I'm wishing you a speedy recovery from your procedure and with everything going on. And we love you so much. And we know you always come back stronger than ever. And nobody knows how much it takes to be a pro athlete and what you put into this and like how much you're growing every single day and how hard you work at it. So flowers to you, virtual flowers.
Oh, thank you. That made my day. I really needed that. I really did. So, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this massively positive episode. It's something that I absolutely needed. And I hope that this makes y'all's week and makes y'all excited for the games coming up this week and weekend. So thank you for tuning in to another episode of Full Circle Podcast. We will see y'all next week.
Bye.